pain, achiness, stiffness, swelling in the joints. Do you know anybody who suffers from this type of issue? Hi, I'm Dr. Peters with Peters Wellness, Chiropractic and Massage. In this week's quick video, I would like to discuss the topic of gout. Okay, so now if you have gout and you've experienced this, you know that gout can be excruciating, okay? So what is gout? Gout is a metabolic disorder that allows for too much uric acid in the blood. And these uric acid, when there's too much of it, it can form crystals. And these crystals can get lodged in different joints of the body. And when you look at this, when we think of gout, we think extremities. So I want you to think, most people, if you hear it, when we learn about it, it's, people will come in and they'll say, my big toe is flared up and it hurts so bad that I can't even stand a bed sheet being on top of it. I mean, think about just the weight of a sheet on your bed pushing against the toe can be so painful for people who are experiencing gout. So this isn't some, wimpy little metabolic disorder. That's not a big deal. It's extremely common in men, not as common in women, but it can happen in the big toe and the foot, and also into the heel. So the big toe, the foot and heel, and the ankles, and it can also happen in the knees. Okay? And then coming up, it can happen in your wrists and in your hands. So these crystals form and get into these joints, and it can cause a lot of pain. And I've written down here, as far as testing for it, now I'll start with the one that sounds the most unpleasant, but if you have an inflamed joint, what they can do is actually stick a needle in there, aspirate it, and actually test that fluid. Also, you can do blood tests for the uric acid. You can do Xray of the particular joints, and also you can do ultrasound of those areas. So again, we're thinking the wrists, the hands, the feet, the big toe, the foot, the ankle, and possibly the knees. Those are the areas that you'd be thinking about for these for this condition. Also, I just want to cover what to avoid, and then I'm going to cover things that you want to do. And I've just listed a few. Now, the things to avoid. If you're anything like me, you're not going to want to hear this list. But if you suffer from gout, you definitely want to stay away from these: red meat, shellfish, alcohol, caffeine, and protein supplements. Now, some of you are out there going, hey, that's my breakfast. Okay, now hopefully you're not having alcohol for breakfast, but a little humor in there. Red meat, shellfish, caffeine, protein supplements, alcohol. A lot of people, this is a very, very typical thing they may have in a given day, especially caffeine. People are having a lot of this. Now, if you don't suffer from gout, may not have as much an effect, but if you do, please avoid these things. And most people who know they have gout, they're already going to know this. This is the common list. Now, some things that you do want to do: vitamin C is very good to help reduce gout. Water, and simply because the opposite of water and being dehydrated can cause flare-ups and gout. 100% cherry juice, like if you go to Sprouts or one of these different stores, even I think Fry's would probably have 100% cherry juice. Drinking that helps reduce the flare-ups of gout. And then supplement-wise, alfalfa, which you can get in different forms, garlic, dandelion, juniper, and cloves. So alfalfa, garlic, dandelion, juniper, and cloves. So those are some things that you would want to take on a regular basis. And again, avoiding the red meat, the shellfish, the alcohol, the caffeine, and the protein supplements. However, I will say in this week's handout, talks about a small amount of wine on a regular basis can be okay, but hitting 2 to 3 glasses, studying in California, if you're getting 2 to 3 glasses, that can have the complete opposite effect. But having a little bit each day could actually make a difference. So if you know somebody who's suffering from gout, it can be a debilitating issue, and it can really have a negative effect on them. So knowing some things to avoid and some things to do on a regular basis could really have an amazing effect and make their lives better. Have an awesome week.